Thought for the day. The best bet is to bet on yourself.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we talk about how to build emotional self-reliance and why it is key to lasting happiness and inner well-being. Have a listen.
Firstly, ask yourself a few questions. Do you expect a romantic partner to make you happy? Do you get excessively jealous? Do you think that your friends should be there for you all the time? Do you consistently look for external validation? Are you scrolling on social media, checking your notifications all the time? Are you dependent upon likes and subscribers and followers on social media networks? Do you distract yourself quite often? Do you feel a sense of anxiety come up when you're alone? Do you have a good relationship with being alone? Do you compare yourself to others excessively? All these questions, if you've answered yes to one or a few of them, it means that you do have some degree of emotional dependency, and I can answer yes to a few of those questions as well. So we're all human, but how do we change it? How do we alter this state? How do we build a sense of emotional self-reliance and capacity to draw on our inner resources to change things and influence our state, which can be done and is very highly recommended by me for just lasting happiness and prosperity in your relationships too? Because think about this, if you have two emotionally dependent people like clashing and placing their expectations and impossible sort of like standards on each other, eventually one of them or both of them are going to drop the ball, then they clash, and then it doesn't work. Emotional self-reliance is the most crucial thing for healthy relationships, I believe. So how do you build it? I'm going to talk about maybe 4 or 5 ways here. Let's go. Number 1, spend more time alone. Only by spending time alone can you really connect with yourself, with the self that has all this capacity and all these emotional resources. Only when you actually spend some specific and structured time alone, away from other people that you may have a dependency upon, can you actually build a greater relationship with the person that you're so quick to satisfy with the approval or some sort of external validation. Number 2, it's kind of hard to explain, but challenge and distance yourself from the things that you're dependent upon. It's similar to being alone on purpose, but in a sense that take stock of the things that are driving you. Take stock of the things that are pulling your attention, and take stock of the things that you distract yourself with. If it's social media, take it out for a little while and see what happens. You'll take that away and something will emerge anew in the space that you've created by doing that. Number 3, take responsibility for your own emotional and mental well-being. Take responsibility for your emotions. What we often do so often is we feel emotions, and then if they're particularly uncomfortable, we're very quick to drum up an external story to attribute those feelings to some source external to ourselves. And that's not the case, because the pain is here. The pain is ours. It is right here, man. It's for you to experience. And only by giving it away and saying that other people and other circumstances are the reason for this, are you really just giving your power and responsibility to other people. Responsibility is also power. The two things link quite closely to each other. Take responsibility for your own inner world. I realized this recently when there was some emotions coming up and I was placing them at the feet of my intimate partner, but then it was like, right, no, that pain isn't over there. That pain isn't over in that direction with that person. The pain is here. That suffering is right here. It's my suffering. The other person can, and probably does, and probably will, if you're in an intimate relationship, provide triggers, but it's your pain. It's up to you to deal with. Number 4, this is more of a habit-based thing. Meditate. Meditate. Gain a greater clarity and understanding of the emotions going on. Sit by yourself. No distractions. Pay attention. See exactly what's going off for you. You'll build a more intimate connection and understanding on an experiential, intense, deeper level with yourself and with the experience that you have. The kind of consistent thing that people try and distract themselves from constantly. The only way out of pain and suffering is actually through it, paradoxically. And by sitting with your emotions, with no distractions, you're going through it. And you will reach a space of equanimity, of chill, of calm, through the storm only. But when you distract yourself from it consistently, the storm ain't going nowhere. The storm is there waiting for you to pay attention to it. And if you never do, one day you'll realize that's a mistake and it's too late. Number 5, journal. Similar to what you did in meditation, but now what you're doing is providing a voice. You're making all these thoughts and emotions, you're giving them a coherent voice where it actually starts to make a bit more sense. Yes, you can go off into storytelling mode a bit too much, but try and keep it experiential. The emotions that you're feeling, what you think it's related to, builds a greater understanding of yourself on an intellectual level, which is also quite useful, as well as a feeling-based experiential level. Understanding yourself on a logical level, intellectual-wise, the two walk hand in hand also.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.